Hey everyone, and my topic is all about artistic values in the role of art criticism in the digital age. So, art has always been an important part of human culture, but the question of who decides what make art valuable has long been debated. Traditionally, artistic value was defined by institutions such as museums, critics, and historians. However, with the rise of digital media and social platforms, the way people judge and engage with art has changed. This report discusses how artistic value is defined and how the role of art critics has evolved in the digital age. So, who define artistic values? So, artistic value can be understood in different ways. Some people believe that art is valuable because of the artist's skill, the emotional impact of the artwork, or its importance in history. Other things value depends on how much people are willing to pay for it. Historically, institutions such as museums, art academies played a major role in deciding which artwork were considered masterpieces. So, it says artistic value is about who decides if art is important. Before, museums and critics decided this. But now, society and culture also affect how art is valued. So, for example, during the Renaissance period, artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo were highly valued because their artworks followed formal principles such as balance, compositions, and realism. Thinkers like Clive Bell argued that art could be valuable simply because of its visual qualities and without considering its meaning or context. However, sociologists argue that artistic value is socially constructed. This means that what people consider great art depends on culture, history, and shared beliefs. A good example is Vincent van Gogh, who was not widely appreciated during his lifetime. Only later did critics and institutions recognize his work as revolutionary, making him one of the most famous artists today. So next is artistic value in the digital age. In today's digital age, artistic value has become more democratic. Social media platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and NFT marketplace allow more people to share and art value and evaluate art. Artists no longer depend only on museums or galleries to gain recognition. Popularity through likes, shares, and views can now influence how art is valued. So, for example, a digital artist can gain recognition by posting artwork on Instagram and build a large following without being endorsed by traditional art institutions. However, this also raises concerns because popularity does not always mean quality. Sometimes, art becomes valued simply because it goes viral, not because of deep meaning or strong artistic skills. So, they said artistic value today, social media helps artistic gain recognition, likes, shares, and views, can make art popular. So, even without museums or galleries. So, the next one is the evolving role of art critics. Before the digital era, art critics mostly published their critiques in newspapers, magazines, and academic journals. Their writings were usually long, research-based, and focused on formal analysis. Critics acted as gatekeepers, deciding which artwork deserves attention. Today, art criticism has experienced to blogs, podcasts, video essays, and social media reviews. Platforms like YouTube allow critics to explain art visually and reach younger audiences. This has made art criticism more accessible to people without formal training in art. For example, a YouTube art critic can discuss a contemporary artwork through a video essay that combines images, storytelling, and personal interpretation. While this approach increases management, it sometimes lacks the deep research found in traditional criticism. As a result, critics now act more as decision facilitators rather than strict authorities. So, in conclusion, artistic value is no longer defined by a single group or institution. While tradition critics and museums still play an important role, digital platforms have allowed more voices to participate in defining what art is valuable. This shift has made art more accessible and inclusive, but it also raises concern about valuing popularity over critical depth. Understanding both traditional and digital perspectives help us appreciate art continues to evolve in modern society. So, before art critics wrote long and detailed reviews in books and newspapers, they acted as gatekeepers of what art people should value. So that's all for my report, and I thank you.